Hello and welcome to the Private Practice Podcast. I'm Dr. Brooklyn Storme, and with nearly 30 years experience in the industry, I'm really excited to share practical insights, valuable wisdom, and all the tools that you need to build a thriving private practice. So whether you're a counsellor, psychologist, social worker, or play therapist, this podcast is all about keeping it real with stories, strategies, and all the support you need to help you flourish in business. We're going to be embracing a mind, business, spirit approach, diving into honest conversations that will uplift your practice and soul. And if you haven't already, come and join us in the Counsellors Connect Australia Facebook group. It's totally free and you'll find a warm, supportive community of like-minded professionals. So go grab your favorite drink, your journal, a pen, get cozy, and let's dive into the mind, business, spirit approach to private practice that you've been looking for. Welcome to another episode of the Private Practice Podcast. I'm so pleased you're here. Thank you to everybody who has been participating this week in the Private Practice Workshop, the free workshop. Look, you can still come in if you want to, but it closes tomorrow at lunchtime. You can still watch the replays if you want to, and you can still grab all the free resources. They're there in the group, ready for you to download. Even if you just jump in, download them and use them in your private practice a bit later. This could be really, really helpful. On Monday, we looked at mindset, and we looked at the 3 different types of mindsets and how they show up in your private practice when you're a private practice owner. On Tuesday, we looked at business strategies, and there were lots of resources given out for things like business planning, how to business plan if you're neurodivergent, those kinds of things. And then on Wednesday, we had some training around intuitive decision making and really leaning into the feminine in your business and why it's so important that we do. And since then, people have been catching up on the replays, using the resources. Of course, the doors are open as well to the private practice certificate. The enrollment is still available until tomorrow at lunchtime, which is 12 noon Australian Eastern Standard Time, Melbourne time. So you're still welcome to enroll up until then. Otherwise, the doors close and they won't open again until April or May 2025. So it's been so lovely because I've been welcoming lots of new people into the certificate program, and I just cannot wait to support them with their private practice. But one of the things I thought might be really helpful is to speak into the money side of things, because I can understand, just thinking about this course, for example, as one example, is this course is $1,500, right? It's 1,497. And there are definitely people in the workshop that want to do the course, but they're having a panic attack about the money. So I thought it might be helpful today to talk about the money archetypes, because one of the things that I have offered as a complimentary I don't know what you want to call it, as a complimentary offer, as a bonus, as a gift to everybody that's in the private practice workshop, who might be thinking about joining the program, but they're getting stuck in their heads about the money, is I'm offering them, those people, a complimentary reading for the money archetypes. So I want to spend some time today going over what the money archetypes are. And then if you are in the group and you would like to get one of these readings to help you with money mindset in your business, you can just let me know, and you can go and do the assessment right away. The assessment is completed online. It will take you between 5 and 10 minutes. It's pretty quick. It's just a little online form you fill out. Once you fill that out, I will get a notification that you have, and then I will do a little reading for you. Okay, that's how it goes. So anyway, let's have a look at what the money archetypes are. So there's a bunch of money archetypes. I think there's 8 from memory. We've got the maverick, the alchemist, the connector, the celebrity, the romantic, the ruler, the accumulator, and the nurturer. Okay, so basically the way that you interact with money, your relationship with money, is it has its own personality, if you like, and it's different for everybody. And we all have a dominant money archetype, and then we have like a second and third archetype that can sometimes show up from time to time in our private practice, in our business, and also in life. So it's really important that we understand what they are, because it's going to shape how you handle money in the business. And if you're finding that, you're experiencing certain patterns, like maybe you're working really hard, but the money's not coming, or you're doing all the things and the referrals aren't coming and things like that, it might be helpful for you to understand the money archetypes so you've got a bit of a lens for interpreting them. Okay. So the cool thing about the money archetypes is that once you know what your archetype is, it then unlocks ways for you to be able to organically attract money, but also understand how you're repelling it. And when you have that awareness, your unique path to creating money becomes really, 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 really obvious. And then things just become that much easier for you in your private practice, right? You stop pushing, you stop chasing, you stop feeling like there's a constantly moving money target, and everything just sort of becomes so much clearer. And so that's why I really feel that it is so important that we run our businesses with the understanding of what our money archetype is, right? I want you to have a nice business that you really like, but that also pays you well and lets you do the things that really align with your values. And so it's really important that you understand your money archetype, because it really allows you to have clarity around what the challenges can be, what your gifts can be, what can show up for you. It can also give you ideas about your strengths, and how to create alignment for yourself and money in your business, right? In accordance with your values. And, I want to share with you that this really, if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, I've been on my own money journey, right? For what is it? I think you'd agree it'd be at least 12 months. In fact, many of these podcast episodes over the last 12 months have been reflections of my journey with money. You heard that over, October? Yeah, so it's 12 months. October, November, December, I had a money coach. There were other things that I was tapping into to help me with money. I was doing energy work. I was doing Reiki over here. I was doing distance healing over there. I had a therapist over there. So I've been dealing with trauma, or all these types of things, right? But the thing that really, really helped me was understanding my money archetype. And since I've done that, it really helped me to just experience a new way of showing up in my business, but also experiencing more income than I've ever had. So it really, 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 really helped me. And in fact, let me just bring it up for you now. I'm just going to try and bring up, where are we? If you can hear tapping away, that's just me on my keyboard, because I want to read something out. I can share with you exactly what it's been like for other people as well. So, somebody here was saying, I just want to say thank you for doing the money codes reading for me. Coming into the session, I didn't expect the results to be so on point. The reading was detailed, very accurate. It really gave me a much better understanding of my unique strengths as a business owner and therapist. Understanding how I can work with the three archetypes and how they work together has given me some real insight into the way I currently operate. And it also highlighted some areas to work on so that I can be more aligned with my own nature and goals of my business. The journal prompts you gave me in the empowering words provided for each archetype were so helpful. They gave me an opportunity to explore this further on my own, as well as creating a daily touch point for the growth of my money mindset. I love that this reading has brought me a better understanding of myself and others in regard to money. I'll be recommending the archetypes reading to every therapist I know. The sooner they get one done, the better it will be for their business and their confidence. And somebody else said, I recently had a reading with Brooklyn, and to say it was profound would be an understatement. The insights she shared really resonated so deeply with me, especially the discussion around the money archetypes. It even brought up some unexpected revelations about my relationship with finances and security, and I've since been working through some intense emotion on that front. Without this reading, I think I would have been left struggling with my own understanding of how I show up in the world when it comes to my own financial framework. It's given me a keen insight into my behaviors and patterns and shone a light on areas I need to be careful in my business. I'm really so grateful for the reading. And then somebody else said, there was this moment during my reading where it all just clicked. I suddenly realized that my approach and how I valued money was surprisingly based on my values and conditioning and personality archetype. Everything seemed to make sense as to how I was governed by the way I perceived my relationship with money. After having the reading with Brooklyn, I started looking at my business differently. I made and will be making a few changes and feel like a weight has shifted, knowing that the actionable steps that Brooklyn helped facilitate paints a clearer picture of attainable goals and a freer mindset. It's funny how a single session can change your whole outlook. This reading really opened my eyes as to what's been holding me back in my business and why, and how it can help me move forward and better my business by implementing more and clear informed decisions. So these were from someone who runs a Pilates studio, someone who is a therapist and a coach, somebody else is a counselor, and there's more and more and more testimonials about this, speaking into how effective it really is, how effective these having the understanding of the archetypes is, right? So let's now have a look a little bit more closely at what the different archetypes are. So the first one here is the ruler, and the ruler is your inner empire builder. So the inner empire builder is you if you really, 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 really love to help creating a space where everyone thrives. Okay. And it's you, like if you are really, really good and really enjoy coming up with new and exciting things for your private practice. And it's also you if you feel like you're a visionary and you're quite determined. Okay. That's you. The accumulator is you if you feel like it's really easy for you to save money, if you find it really fulfilling and rewarding, you just love to create financial independence for yourself, you really enjoy being financially responsible, things like that. The accumulator is a match made in heaven with money because it's just really easy for an accumulator to save and live within their means, and we see this in their business as well. And then the nurturer is really, really generous with their money, loves to give amazing value. And this shows up in their practice as well, and is incredibly loyal, so loyal. And, really is driven by a desire to be of service. Okay. You really love to be helping other people, and you want to share your financial resources, right? So people might often come to you and ask for little loans or things like that, and you love being that person that can help others out, right? Really pride yourself on it. It makes you feel so good. The celebrity is really good at leadership, right? Usually a business owner loves helping other people to make a really great impression, because the celebrity archetype makes a great impression themselves. They know how to stand out in a crowd. And so this is really such a gift for them, because it means that in the world of private practice, they have really clear messaging, they've got on-point branding, they stand out from the white noise. They just find a way to make it happen, and it's just very natural for them. They're charismatic, they have magnetic personalities, and they're radiant, right? They're radiant. And for that reason, they attract people to them. The romantic archetype is the inner hedonist, right? It's the one that really loves to experience the pleasure of life. Everything is there to be enjoyed. The food, the clothes, the furnishings, the textures, all those kinds of things. The romantic believes that there's always more, right? There's an everlasting supply of money. There's always more. Go and spend it now. Go and indulge now. Very generous, shouts other people things, maybe in a private practice sense. Maybe there's like, I don't know, maybe instead of an onboarding packet, which is an online PDF, maybe the romantic actually has like a welcome gift, and it might be like a little box that's got a candle. It might have like a little lavender eye pillow for meditation, supporting people with meditation. It might include I don't know, a bottle of vitamins. It could include an essential oil. It might include a deck of affirmation cards. Do you know what I mean? So it could actually be a little box. Very, very romantic, and enjoys all the things that money can buy. Has the best of everything. Never really worries too much about the money. They're very luxuriant, very abundant, and just like pleasure seeking. Okay, really, really, just so lovely. The connector, on the other hand, is someone who really, 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 really loves to create connections with others, and loves to, introduce people to each other. If somebody says, I need help with a website, they'll go to a connector because they know the connector probably knows someone who can do a website, right? And then the connector will join them up. And the connector's strengths really are around, they don't really stress that much about money because they know they can lean into their relationships for financial support along the way if they need to. So they've got like an abundance of faith and optimism there. They're really good at creating highly valuable relationships, especially when it comes to their business. Very trusting and very, very resilient and things like that. The alchemist is the inner idealist. So that's probably you if you're always coming up with ideas. You're really, really good at raising other people up. You never feel threatened by somebody else's success. You see it as an indication of what's possible for you and for all others. So you love to cheer others on, support them. In private practice, this might look like, I don't know, if somebody won an award for something, you'd be really happy for them and you might share it to your stories. Even though it wasn't your award, you're just celebrating them, right? You're known for celebrating others, and you're really, really good at seeing possibilities, okay? Very idealistic, likes to sometimes colour outside of the lines and be a little bit daring there. And then the last one that we have is the maverick. And the maverick is, the inner rebel with a cause. So loves to sort of push back, very clever, can be quite flamboyant, again, very charismatic, and has some gifts there around, knows how to structure deals and handle complex situations. Really, really good at that. So if you're needing to create a SLA, right? A service level agreement between your business, your private practice, and a small to medium enterprise that wants to hire your business to be its EAP provider. You probably want a maverick handling that conversation and handling that deal for you, because they are so good at managing this type of stuff and negotiating these types of things. They're also very good at paying attention to the numbers and to the details. Really, really good. They're going to dot I's, cross T's, all those kinds of things. And they're also open to taking risks. Yes, they're calculated, sometimes not so well calculated, but usually they're calculated. And these they see that taking risks is an important part of being in business. So they might say yes to being a partner with somebody, or they might say yes to being to doing a collab with somebody, or paid partnership, things like that, knowing that there could be a risk, but banking on the fact that it's more likely than not that there'll be some benefit to their private practice as a result of this, right? So the maverick is incredibly creative when it comes to generating money and can call it in from like all these sorts of random services. In fact, I often talk with you, don't I, about the importance of having a diversified income stream. Well, the maverick is really, 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 really good at creating that. Yep. The Maverick is so, so good at creating that. So which of the money archetypes are you? To find out, you can hit pause on this podcast now. I'll put the link to the assessment. It's just a little online assessment. I'll put that in the show notes. So if you like, hit pause now, go and do that. It'll take you 5 minutes and then come back and listen to the rest of the quiz. Now, you might be wondering, this all sounds fascinating, Brooklyn, but how does this really impact my business? Okay. And I want to share with you that your money archetype affects so much of your business. It's kind of like your personality in general, right? If you're a shy wallflower, that's going to affect all areas of your business. Maybe the money, maybe how your marketing, maybe how you show up with your clients, maybe how you respond to, I don't know, outstanding debts and invoices and things like that, right? Yeah, well, it's the same with the money archetypes, but it also really does impact how you generate, how you create, and how you receive money, okay? So we want you to understand what your archetypes are so that everything can just be that much easier. So I'm going to show you, I'll talk you through rather, a little bit of an example of what it looks like for me. So my dominant archetype is ruler. So the ruler is the inner empire builder, right? So for me, this means that I can get really, really focused on my work. I really can. I would work all day long if I could because I love it so much. I'm one of those lucky people that gets to do what she loves, right? And so because I love it, I find it really hard to disconnect. So one of the things that I struggle with is like I'm working. I love to do that, but I also find it a real challenge to switch off. In fact, even when I go to Daylesford and my next trip is coming up in a fortnight, I'm like counting the sleeps. It's the 5th of October today. I'm off on the 18th. Well, let's call it the 17th. But I'm off soon. But even when I go away, every, 8 to 10 weeks or whatever it is, I still find it really hard to switch off. Okay. I'm lucky in that I've got some great supports around me, people that will take care of, my Facebook communities and things like that. But my head does not switch off because when I go away, I'm removed from the computer, obviously. I'm removed from my home office. I'm outside of all of that. And that then creates space for me to get new ideas about things, new insights about things. And so I'm constantly thinking and I get all these insights and inspiration. And then I go out and I buy notebooks while I'm in Daylesford and I sit in the spa and I'm just scribing everything. All the ideas that are coming up. And then I also make plans while I'm away. So I will map out like my next 12 weeks and what I want that to look like and what I'm going to do in week 1, week 3, week 4, week 5. And I feel really, really good that this is all done. And I find this very nourishing. It makes me feel so good. I really, really love coming up with new things for my private practice. So I really love coming up with new programs, new offers, stuff like that. And I really, really, really love creating value. And I think too, like you can see this in the recent workshop, right? It was a free workshop. And it went, well, it's still on, right? It's still on until tomorrow at 12 noon. But the trainings happened Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. There were 6 hours of training. And then yesterday there was a bonus training on how to use AI to identify your niche and your messaging and stuff like that. And then I had I think it was about 4 resources a day were going out to support people. So that's the example of the value, right? So people signed up, they didn't pay anything unless they wanted to, but they didn't pay anything and they got a whole lot of value. And so that's just one of the gifts of being a ruler, but it's not the gift of every archetype, right? This is just how it shows up for me, okay? So I am very determined, all those kinds of things. Then we've got my second one was accumulator. So again, if you know my money story, this is going to make total sense. The way that this shows up for me in my business is I really want to invest only in things that are going to give me a return on my investment. I'm not going to invest in anything just for the sake of it, just for the fluff. No, everything I invest in has to have a purpose and it has to make me money in some way, shape, or form. So even if I'm going to go and do PD, maybe I want to go and do, I don't know, some training in private practice. I'm going to be thinking to myself, okay, that training is going to cost me this much money. How quickly will I be making that money back? That's my thought process. And if I'm not convinced, if I don't fully believe that I'm going to make money back, I just won't buy it. Even though I might be interested in it and I might like the person and all those kinds of things, I'm not going to buy it. And it's because I want the business to have financial security and I want the business to have financial independence. I will never take out a loan for my business. I would rather just not have things rather than put myself in debt. So stuff like that. And that's why things like working from home work really, 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 really well for me. I find it very easy to be financially responsible for my private practice. Every expense that comes in and goes is calculated, is measured, and it's always through the lens of how will this ensure the sustainability of my practice. And this affects everything for me, from the fee that I set, the offers that I create, the things I choose to put my energy into now, and the things I choose to let go. So you know that I've let go of a whole bunch of things. I've removed a whole lot of my offers. I've removed a whole lot of my products. I no longer do I used to have memberships. I haven't had memberships for about 6 months now. And there's a reason for that. It's probably a whole other thing, but I don't have memberships anymore because it just doesn't fit with the accumulator archetype. It fits with the ruler archetype because it was fun and it was innovative and I could create value and all those kinds of things, but doesn't work out for the accumulator because that model doesn't fit with my values and it doesn't fit with the needs that I have of the business to create sustainable income. Does a membership model or a subscription model help the accumulator to feel better financially? Yes and no. I think the mistake that I made was significantly undervaluing what I was doing. I was charging like $7 at one point. And I think that was probably very damaging to my business. It was certainly damaging to my bottom line. I had other memberships and subscriptions that were a little bit more, but generally speaking, I wouldn't do it again. I would not do it again. It was a lot of love, care, over giving, over delivering, lots of value, stuff like that. And for $7, no. It didn't work out for me because when you have a membership or a subscription, people can, drop in and drop out anytime, especially through the model that I was using, which was doors open all the time. So people could dip in, dip out, dip in, dip out. And there were some people that did some not good things, which is disappointing because they're my colleagues, right? We're all colleagues, aren't we? But there were people there that did some wrong things, that just jumped in, downloaded all of the stuff, and then repurposed it as their own. And, two of those people are my competition. They're other private practice coaches, but they've now just packaged up stuff that they got from me in those $7 memberships. And anyway, it didn't work out from that accumulator perspective. It didn't work out. It didn't help create the level that I had intended or hoped of financial security, right? So that's why things shifted. I shut those memberships, no longer have them. Nothing is on subscription. Nothing is a membership. Everything is a course. And now I have doors open, doors close. And it was scary making that transition, but for the accumulator archetype that is all about the inner banker, that's all about how do we make the business safe and secure and things like that from that financial perspective. It was scary making those changes, but they have paid off in leaps and bounds, let me tell you now. So the accumulator is all about the level of financial safety and security that you experience in your business. And, what you're doing to call that in, what you're doing that's currently repelling it, and you won't know what you don't know either. And then my last one here is the nurturer. Now, one of the things about the nurturer archetype is this is all about caring and compassion. It's all about looking after other people, which makes sense, doesn't it? Given that we're in the health and wellness space, we all want to look after other people. The nurturer is very generous. Again, she's known for giving amazing value. So many people will say that they went into something with a nurturer archetype expecting to get this, but they were blown away because they got that as well, right? The nurturer is incredibly loyal. So, you have long-term relationships usually with many of your clients, very, very loyal. But as the nurturer archetype in business, sometimes there's a need that there's a drive, a motivation, like you want to rescue others. And when we're thinking about it in terms of money, that can look like creating super low payment plans, which don't benefit you. You make them for the client. But it affects your business, right? So you've got to be mindful of like not being a rescuer and undercharging, or saying things like, having this mindset of like, I've got to be affordable, or I charge this so that people can afford it, and things like that. That's the nurturer archetype coming out, and it has a really big impact on the business. One of the challenges of the nurturer archetype is they can give and give and give and give and give, often at their own expense, and it's often a pathway to burnout, because it's the giving, and feeling like I'm not good enough to get, I'm not good enough to receive, it's not fair to ask for money, I shouldn't do this, blah, 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 all about clients. And so it can have very, very serious consequences for the business. But there's so many beautiful things about the nurturer archetype as well. And I think once you understand what your archetypes are, then it unlocks the door for you to be able to do things like write a new money story, have a money ceiling breakthrough, look at your money boundaries, and maybe even create new money boundaries, create a more empowering mindset around your money, create a more empowering voice around your money, understand your relationship with money and what you could do to improve that relationship with money, and what that looks like in terms of a practical sense of your business. So when it comes to things like investing, if I just look at my own archetypes here, if I'm going to enroll in a course, which, as you know, I enroll in courses all the time. I'm a course junkie. I'm a course addict. It's my toxic trait. If you've got a course, I'm probably going to sign up for it if I think that I can use what I'm going to learn in my practice. And this is the other thing with the ruler archetype. The ruler buys courses and does every single lesson, and then gets the piece of paper at the end, right? Whereas others, like the nurturer perhaps, or the celebrity perhaps, will buy a course. They feel good buying the course, and they might dip in and do the odd bit of a lesson here, start watching a video there, go back to it ad hoc, and never actually finish it. And then they'll say, oh yeah, I've done a course on this, that, or the other. But actually they didn't do the course. They didn't finish it. It's more like they purchased the course. But the ruler will go and do the whole entire course. So my archetype, my dominant archetype is ruler. As a ruler, I am going to, when I'm thinking about investing in a course, I'm looking at what's the return on investment likely to be. How will this help my clients? How will this help my business? How does this sit with my values of wanting more control and choice of my time? And of course, wanting to make more money because I've got increasing expenses as a result of things that are happening in my personal life. So I need to be mindful of all of those kinds of things. So if the course that you're offering me shows me that I'm going to make money back, that it's going to add value to my existing offers that I've got, whether that's counseling, whether that's coaching, whether that's counseling, stop it, good boy, whether that's counseling, whether that's coaching, whether that's my courses and things like that, all those things, buddy boo, come on. All those things are going to influence whether or not I buy. Okay, so and each archetype is a little bit different. And the other thing that can be really, really helpful too is understanding not only your own archetype, but understanding the archetype of your clients. Because when you know that, then you know, you'll have all clients are going to have different combinations of archetypes, right? So I'm not a mathematician, but if you think about 8 different archetypes, and we have combinations of 3, what's that? Do you have to do like 8 to the power of 3 or something? I don't know. But that's a lot of different combinations, right? And everybody's going to probably have different combinations, but you'll start to see trends emerge in terms of who your clients are. And once you have an understanding of where your clients sit with archetypes and the money and stuff like that, how do you think you could use that information to help more people, right? It means that you now have the key to speak their language. So I know if I've got, I don't know, somebody booked in for a call with me, right? And they'd done a money archetypes thing, and I knew that their archetype was celebrity, then probably I know when I have a conversation with them, I have to approach it in a way that's going to help them feel important, that's going to help them feel recognized, that's going to feel special, that's going to feel glossy, that's going to feel luxurious. It's got to feel expensive, it's got to feel highly desirable. That's how I have to approach it with that client, versus if I'm going to be selling the same thing to somebody else who is I'm just looking at my list here. If I'm going to be selling my course to someone who is a romantic, it's going to be totally different. It's going to be like, you absolutely have to do this course because you deserve it. You know, you really deserve doing this course. You deserve to spend this money on yourself and to take this time for you where you can just learn at your own pace. This is going to feel so good because it's a beautiful portal. It's a beautiful community. There's lots of opportunities for you to connect with other people there. There's things for all of your senses just about. There's things to read, there's things to listen to, there's things to watch. The course is constantly being updated for you at no extra cost. Do you know what I mean? You should just do it. Like just dive in. Like, what have you got to lose? Do you see what I mean? It's the same course, but it gets marketed to people very differently. So if you have an understanding of your own archetype, it allows you to change little things here and there in your business and just make your life so much easier. But also when you understand what the trends are in the archetypes of your clients, that means that all of a sudden you now know how to speak to them on social media, you know how to speak to them on your website, all those kinds of things. So it's so powerful. And if you are in the free private practice workshop at the moment and you're thinking to yourself, well, maybe I'd like to do the course, but, you know, I'm worried about the money, this, that, and the other, maybe it might be helpful for you to understand what's going on. And that's what I'm saying, like, hit pause on this right now. Give yourself 5 minutes to go and do that assessment, go and do the free assessment, and then I'll send you a little reading by video, and it'll just be for you. It'll all be nice and personalized, but it can help you. So do that if you're serious about doing the course with me, but you're just on the fence because of the money. Okay, it'd be my pleasure to help you, because this will help you make a decision and know whether or not it's actually the right thing for you. Of course, we've also got some people who aren't in the workshop and they just want the link to the course. They just want to go and get the course. So the link to the course direct is also in the show notes. So if that's you, jump in. Yes, there are payment plans available. No, the course is not going to be offered at this price again. And the doors will open again in April or May next year. So I've got 6 or 7 months before they open again. Somebody was saying, oh, look, I'm still studying, I'm still working, I haven't started my private practice yet, so I'll wait. My guidance would be, don't wait, get it now, because number one, you'll save yourself some money. But number two, you want to learn how to swim before you jump off the pier, right? No good trying to swim once you're in the water. You need to be able to know how to swim first, okay? And it's good if you've got a good swimming instructor there, somebody who's helped lots and lots of other people learn how to swim successfully and even win swimming competitions. So this is just something that I wanted to share with you today. If you want to know more, or if you want to do some work around money and how it's affecting you, how it's impacting you, of course, let me know. I'm more than happy to help you with it. And we can do that in a single session, totally up to you as well. So yeah, it's so much fun, isn't it? Learning about all this new stuff. I love it so much. All right. Have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. In the Wednesday edition, if you like, I will break down the debrief. I'll provide a debrief for the current launch that my business is in at the moment, so that you can hear that, because I know every time I do one of these launches, I started doing debriefs a while ago, and now people are always like, can I hear the debrief? So yes, you can hear the debrief. I'll put the debrief in Wednesday's episode if I've done it. If not, it'll be next Saturday's episode. But otherwise, go and do the Sacred Money Archetypes if you're on the fence about enrolling in the private practice certificate. And if you want to go and read some more about the certificate, what's included, how it's going to help you to create your successful private practice more quickly, things like that, and maybe even join or enroll, again, click the link in the show notes. Have a happy Saturday, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. I really hope that you got so much enjoyment, value, and insights out of this episode today. And if you did, please feel free to go ahead and leave a review. When you leave a review, it means that more therapists can access this help and support and tools to support them in their private practice and in their journeys. Thank you so much for listening to the show. Have a gorgeous day.